Hello. So I was sitting here and I'm in the greenhouse and all of a sudden I'm noticing the neighbors are doing something. I'm like, what are they doing? And it looked like they were picking stuff off the lawn, and I couldn't figure it out for a while. And I finally figured it out, and they were doing an Easter egg hunt. And then I remember tomorrow is Easter, and I'm so thankful that my kids get to have a good Easter. I wasn't able to make Easter baskets or Easter meal or clean up or set up even, a place to have an Easter dinner or really be out of bed most of the day. So their Easter would have just been not enjoyable, right? And a memory of just me being sick, and instead they get to have it with Grandpa and do Easter baskets and have an Easter meal with the family. And I know they're both going to be super excited. And Dad does Easter completely different than I do. So they'll be surprised by his way being different. They'll actually think it's really, really cool, and they'll be like, "I wish Mom did it this way." So I don't know. I just I'm feeling thankful to Jesus for giving my kids a beautiful Easter when it wouldn't have been that way. And I'm thankful to Jesus of stepping up as, the Father. They say that God is close to the fatherless, and I was basically the father. So when the kids lost me, then it was like they were orphans because they had no dad and no mom. So God just is taking extra good care of them and extra good care of their hearts. And I had to hear how Uncle Billy made chili last night, and it's really good. Amber says really great, and what she doesn't know is Aunt Esther makes my favorite chili, so now I'm going to be shocked when Aunt Esther makes it for her to hear what she says. So I'm sitting here thankful to Jesus that I get to just know my kids are so taken care of and happy and full of love and joy, and enjoying Easter tomorrow. My heart, it has been rough today. Another thing about dating with Jesus. So this is my booger towel. And Adam walked in and I said, hey, don't touch that towel, it's my booger towel. And he just said, alright. And when you're just dating the man that Jesus gives you, you don't get embarrassed to just, I've been crying a lot and I just have a towel filled with boogers, so for him to walk in and just say, that's my booger towel, he didn't make a face or think it's weird or gross or anything, and there's just been some real rough moments. A lot of what the kids say to me, I just gotta keep saying to them, we just gotta trust God. We just gotta trust God. I had a really, really, really good job when I got this house, and I was working on a promotion that was coming very soon and getting the 4% pay increase in January, and we were going to be very comfortable here. And now we definitely have to not renew our lease when it's up in October. So we're definitely moving by October. So Adam and I are working out all those details. And there's all the variables we don't know, right? You know, we don't know if Dante's gonna just love Iowa and thrive and do good in school there and end up staying there. You know, we don't know if Amber's gonna end up with Adam and I, or, you know, Grandpa or what. There's just, we don't know, but Jesus knows. And today I just keep telling myself, you know, just keep trusting God, because I don't have time frames, I don't have answers. You know, those muscle relaxers I take every 4 hours, by 3.5 hours, you know, as they stop leaving my system, my whole body starts going into spasm, everything starts hurting, all the seizures start coming back. So I'm still at the point that without those and such a heavy amount of them, I can't even go the 4 hours without complete being unable to function in any single way. So I need to get off my pain meds before they come home, so that their mom isn't a vegetable. And I have to get better, you know. And you know, it's in God's timing, so it's in the perfect timing. So I know I could trust that. But their whole lives, they always knew, no matter what, like, Mom's got this. They were never, ever afraid. You know, even Dante's boss was like, you know, when you were in the hospital, your son proved to me, like, how strong your faith was. And he said nothing could break my mom's faith. And that's how he was talking about me when I was paralyzed and not knowing what was going on. And I just hope that they keep using this time to really grow their faith and just watch God work and how he makes everyone's lives, everyone involved, better for this, and how we all look back with gratitude, and we all say, thank you, God. Mom getting sick changed all our lives for the better. And I know that day is gonna come. I have lots of thank you, God, days, and I know more are coming. And I'm just so thankful for those days ahead. I look forward to them. But again, in the waiting, you never know when. And cognitively, my brain has been doing some crazy things. And you know, the other day I woke up in my room and I thought it was the bathroom, and I'm looking at the fireplace and the TV, and I see my bed and I see it's my room, but my brain just kept saying, nope, your room is in the bathroom. And I laid there and I was just trying to figure out why my room was in the bathroom. But I was 100% convinced. So it wasn't a passing thought or a moment of fogginess. My mom's been playing these tricks on me that it's just completely out of touch with reality. I'm having these conversations with people, and sometimes I think, it's just someone I know, and I think I'm sitting here and having this entire deep conversation with them, and then I'm just alone, or I think I'm on the phone with them, and I was never on the phone, or my brain's implanting these memories that I'll think like I had this whole deep conversation. And it's weird because they're all these very deep, heartfelt, like tears streaming down my face. Like they're all very moving, deep conversations, and I don't remember any of them. But then it's like I can't get back to them, and I don't actually know what happens or what's going on. It's like I disassociate, but I have full emails to people, and like even with my pastors the other day, I thought I sent them this whole email and I wrote it all out in my head, and I was crying and venting, and I had all this realization, and there was no trace of it. I never pulled up an email, I never sent one, there was nothing in draft, I never did any of it. So I'll have like these memories of that I think I'm doing it while I'm doing it, but then after I have all these like implanted memories of, oh, I just did all that. So even sometimes at church, I'll think I walked up to someone and said something or had this whole conversation with them, and I never left the chair. And then sometimes I'll remember, okay, no, that conversation didn't happen, even though it felt so real and it was so lengthy in my head. And then other times I can't figure out if it happened or not, and then I go back in my head and I'm like, wait, did I already have that conversation with that person or didn't I? And I get scared to walk up because I either just had that whole conversation with them or I didn't, and I have no idea. And you have no track of time. You don't know morning from night and what day it is and what month it is. And one of the things that's interesting is over the past few weeks, I kept having a lot of panic attacks about my son's birthday. I kept not remembering if he was 12 or turned 13 yet. And then I couldn't remember if I missed his birthday or if it didn't happen yet, or if it did happen and I couldn't remember it, or what we did for it. And I just didn't know if it happened and I didn't remember any of it, or if it didn't happen, or if I missed it, or if it happened without me. Like I just zero recollection, and then it would come to my mind and I would be like, wow, I don't know how I'm gonna parent. And this was the first time in my life that the kids had to see me surrender to God, because their whole lives, no matter what, they knew, Ma's got this. Whether, God has come through with 11th hour miracles for us so many freaking times, I can't even tell you. So there'd be times we'd be about to be evicted or about to have to move or something like that, and I wouldn't even have a place lined up, and I'm playing it cool, I'm packing everything, and the kids have no idea we have no place to live. I've had, places to live that God's given us 48 hours before. God has come through God's spoken to me my whole life and come through my whole life and been here my whole life. It just wasn't me even knowing I was hearing from God. I didn't know what it was, but so I took account for everything I ever did for my kids. You know, I felt like I just always told them, like, oh, I got this, or, you know, if they'd be worried, like, do you not have faith in me, or when have we not gotten this? You know, we moved 16 times in the past 15 years, and I always got it pulled together with moving trucks and finding places and deposit money and getting people to move, and a lot of those times, you know, I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't have money to pay people to help. There's a lot of times we go from like a 2 or 3 bedroom into a 1 bedroom, and or go into something with like a super narrow staircase, and we couldn't bring any of our furniture, and you know, the kids wouldn't know how many times I had to rebuy like everything we owned, or you know, I got a couple places that were fully furnished and had to get rid of everything we owned to get them, and then within 6 months we were kicked out with having nothing. Or there are multiple times in their lives, you know, at least 4 times that come to mind, that we've started over with literally the clothes on our back. And that's just what I could think of, and it's probably like 7, but 4 just that come to mind real fast. But anyway, I kept a straight face the whole time, and they never knew I was scared, and they always used to say, Mom only cries at movies. You know, at movies, any part of the movie I'd cry. I'm a sucker for movies. But they never saw me cry no matter what. Not when bills couldn't get paid, not when I didn't know when we were moving, not when I didn't know how we were getting trucks. There were times that I had to be out of a place in the morning and I was getting a lockbox put on the apartment door. I had gotten kicked out because my ex at the time, who was not my ex at that time, had the cops there 3 times within a couple weeks, and because of the type of housing it was, you get kicked out, so we instantly got kicked out, and they give you a certain amount of notice, which is like none, and then put lock boxes on your door, and you actually get charged for everything that they have to get rid of yours. But that was another catastrophe of then having, you know, where do we go? And God's always come through, like always. There's been another time we were about to have no place to live, and just another place came up. I mean, time and time again, you know, for us to have had 16 places in 15 years and my credit has been destroyed the whole time, that's God. That's like 100% God. I did it all with no credit and all by God, and all almost always 11th hour miracles. So I've always just had to pray for 11th hour miracles. And when we got this place, my son's voice was a big deciding factor, even more than the obvious signs from God. This was the very first house I was ever gonna rent with my kids ever, and I had everything picked out to deck out this whole house. I was buying everything new, and I had a great income and was about to get another 4% increase and another promotion. That was like another $45,000 on top of what I was making. And when we got this place, we ended up having to do all the paperwork and everything really, really early for it, like 4 months early. So I submitted pay stubs, everything, and she didn't care that my credit was screwed up because my pay was so high, and we just really hit it off, and I came recommended by a different landlord and stuff. So God got us this place with me having no job, and our rent where we're going is a 1-bedroom. Where we currently lived, it was a 1-bedroom on top of 40 stairs. I called it my tower because with my sickness, I couldn't even get to the point of scooching down them anymore. So I'd be trapped up there because I couldn't even scooch on my butt because I couldn't use my wrists or my arms or my legs or anything. But that place was $1,000 a month, and the utilities were low, and there was no other bill. And I was gonna get a place that was $1,800 plus a very high water bill, plus a very high electric bill, plus garbage, plus us having to do all the lawn maintenance, and it was like triple what we had. And again, this was after losing my job, but it would have been no big deal because my resume and my work record was great. So I would have just been instantly able to get another job. I didn't know how sick I was going to get, how fast, and for how long. So then when it occurred to me, I'll probably never work again, and definitely no time soon, it occurred to me like, wow, this is a crazy time to be adding all these bills. But I had God's peace about this, and my son, he just kept saying we had to get it. And I just said, okay. So we did. So we moved forward with it. And it's been working out. But now, come when the lease is up, Adam and I will be getting a house together, and it is assigned to me and assigned to my family that God gave me my husband and my greenhouse, that even though it wasn't our forever home and it wasn't exactly how I pictured it, it was to me a sign like your dream life is coming. And in my dream life, I have my children, I have my health, I have my husband with a healthy relationship that, I could be a partner, not how our relationship has been. So I know everything is coming. I know all God's promises are coming, and they say, like, can he do it? Yes, he will. I know he will. So I know these were signs, and again, they were what I needed for this season in my life. But it just shows me, like, Ash, your dream life is coming. Like, don't worry, don't be afraid. I'm going to be on permanent disability. And Adam's basically become like a full-time caretaker of mine because I can't do literally a single thing alone at all. Not even for like an hour. So he's just such a godsend, and I already know God is just gonna bless us with something that we both love and have a passion for, and enable Adam to be able to stay home with me um, and just work out everything. Like, I know that these times I cry about the kids, I know these tears are all going to be tears of joy. I know so much good is coming. So much God is in this. All God is in this. I know 100% that I trust God in this, and I don't like how it feels. I don't like how it feels at all. But it doesn't change that I 100% trust God in it. And I know whatever the time, how long, how short, whatever it is, it's God's time, and it's the right time, and it is exactly what was meant to be. So I'm just trusting God now more than ever. And now after my kids having their entire lives, me here, like, I got it, we got it, never see me worry, never seeing anything. When they ask me, I just gotta tell them, I don't know. Dante kept asking if we were gonna lose the house, if we'd have to move from Geneva, if he was staying with me, what would happen with my health, how long I'd be sick, like, what was going on, if he'd have to move in with his dad. Like, he was asking me all this stuff and wanted all these answers, and he was petrified, and he's still trying to figure out if when he leaves Iowa, if he's ever coming back to this house or a different house, and where it's gonna be, and we don't know anything. And after them seeing a completely confident, sure mom for 18 years, now they just see me look at them with everything and say, I don't know. I don't know. We just have to trust God, because I don't know. I have no answer to anything at all. I don't know. I've never not known more in my life, but I've never had more peace in my life, because it's the very first time in my entire life I'm letting God do God and take over. And there's always pain and growth, always. And to say this is pain is an understatement. This is agonizing. But again, I'm so thankful to God. And I'm so thankful that my kids are having the Easter they're having, and as my kids are smiling and laughing and having a great time, I'll be, doing a little time with Jesus, but I'm so thankful for it, and God knows I'm thankful for it. And even if I seem sorry or filled with sorrow, it's my mama heart. But the real mama heart couldn't be more proud or happy that her kids are happy and healthy and taken care of. It's all any mom could ever want. We want to be the ones to do it, but when we can't be the ones to do it, all we want is somebody else to do it, So, I'm gonna go. Bye, guys.